Hi everyone, I'm Rashmita and this is another lecture on Indian polity. So इस lecture में हम बात करेंगे of a very important and a landmark judgment which is Keshwanand Bharti versus State of Kerala. So why this case is important? First of all, it is a landmark judgment जिसमें कि basic structure doctrine के बारे में बताया गया था. Whether parliament can amend the fundamental rights or not, इस चीज़ के बारे में भी कोर्ट ने अपना verdict सुनाया था. Third thing, this was in your current affairs because Swami Keshwanand Bharti uh, just like a month or 2 months ago he actually died. He passed away few months ago. So that's why this case is very important from the perspective of your examination. So we'll be discussing about what is the background of this case, what are the important issues that were raised in this case, and what are the arguments that were given by both the sides, the state as well as the petitioner. And also we'll be discussing what the Supreme Court actually held in this case and what were the then like changes that were made after the verdict of this case. So before coming to the main lecture, here is this Unacademy UPSC Championship 2.0. It is an all India free mock test series for UPSC CSE prelims 2020 and 2021, paper 1 GS. So if you perform well in this mock test series, then you can win a chance to meet UPSC CSE 2019 toppers, top Unacademy educators and Unacademy subscription scholarship. So the dates for this mock test series are 30th of August, 6th September, 13th of September, 20th of September and 27th of September. So you can enroll for it right now. The link for this has been mentioned in the description box. You can find the link there. Also, there are very few days left for your UPSC preparation, so you can start your UPSC preparation with Unacademy. There are like unlimited benefits of once subscribing to Unacademy. Here is the list of all the benefits that you will be getting. So first one is you can learn live from the comfort of your home. You do not have to travel anywhere. You do not have to waste your time going to a coaching center and face the traffic. You can just sit at home whenever you feel comfortable and you can learn live from the comfort of your home. You also get unlimited access to all courses. So it's not like that once you subscribe you can only access one course for which you have subscribed. You can actually get unlimited access to all the courses. Also, you get top educators of India on one platform, which is very rare because generally you have to go and find different educators, like different specialists for one subject in different coaching centers. So you don't have to worry about that here. You get all the educators, top educators of India on one platform. You also get exhaustive coverage of your syllabus, so you don't have to read all the bulky books that are recommended for UPSC. You can just read the books and the notes that are given to you and the books that are suggested by your educators, and you will get enough of the material from the Unacademy itself. So you don't have to actually go through each and every book. Okay, and the notes will be like sufficient for your preparation for UPSC. Also, you get regular doubt clearing sessions. So even if you don't come up with a doubt when your class is going on, you get separate regular doubt clearing sessions in which you can actually ask your doubts. You also get live test series. It actually gives you a scenario of an examination hall, so you get aware of the situation that you will be facing in your examination hall or the fear that you will be facing in the examination hall. So you can overcome that by attempting these live test series. You also get all of your material in PDF format, so you don't worry about the internet connectivity of your phone or your laptop or anything else. So you can just download the PDF material which is given to you whenever you have a good internet speed, and then you can read it anywhere anytime you want. You also get answer writing sessions, so it is very important for your UPSC exam. As you know, the answer writing constitutes major part of UPSC exam. So even if in very beginning you are not good with answer writing sessions, so you can actually learn by attempting these answers again and again. Also, you will be given all the tips and tricks of writing a very good answer. You will be getting the analysis of your answers, like your answers will be analyzed by top educators, and then they will tell you what else you need to incorporate in your answers to make it better. Also, you are going to get mentorship and guidance from an academy for your UPSC. So it's like a one-stop solution for complete UPSC CSE preparation. You get structured batches with top educators. You get batches in Hindi, English, and bilingual. You get late night batches for the people who are also working, and you get a 2 years batch for the students who are right now in first or second year of their college. And you also get 100% syllabus coverage. You get fast range of optionals. You get prelims test series with evaluation. You get mains test series with evaluation. You get dedicated doubt clearing classes. You get daily current affairs practice, essay and answer writing practice, performance analysis, sectional quizzes, and interview preparations. So here are the information about the recent batches that are going to start on Unacademy. So the first one is Mission UPSC CSE 2021. It's a bilingual GS batch course. इसमें आपको हिंदी और इंग्लिश दोनों languages में पढ़ाया जाएगा. So this is starting on 21st of September 2020, and it's a full year batch course. You get full syllabus coverage with top educators. You get prelims and mains test series with analysis, dedicated doubt clearing sessions, and interview preparation. Next one is Lakshya UPSC CSE 2021. So this is also starting from 21st of September 2020. This is for the people who are preparing from Hindi medium. So जिनको हिंदी लैंग्वेज से अपना एग्ज़ाम देना है या जिनको हिंदी लैंग्वेज ज़्यादा कंफर्टेबल लगती है वो ये वाला बैच ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं. बट ईच एंड एवरी थिंग विल बी इन हिंदी. आपको नोट्स भी हिंदी में ही दिए जाएंगे. ओके. So this is also a 1 year course. You get entire syllabus coverage. You get top educators with prelims test series and mains test series and interview preparations. Next one is Expedition UPSC 2021. It's a strict English batch course. So you get all of your notes and your classes in English language. So it is also a 1 year batch course. It is starting from 21st of September. You get full syllabus coverage with top educators, prelims and mains test series with analysis. You get PDF study material, dedicated doubt clearing sessions, and interview preparations. Next is Expedition UPSC CSE 2022. So it is also starting from 21st September 2020, but it's a 2 year batch course. So it is generally for the people who are right now in their second or third year of college. So you get as I told you, it is a 2 year batch course. You get entire syllabus coverage. You get top educators, prelims and mains test series with analysis, PDF study material, dedicated doubt clearing sessions, and interview preparations. Also, here is this Ultimate Revision Booster Prelims batch, which is going to start. So this one is Ultimate Revision Booster. So this is a bilingual course. Okay, so you can enroll for free. Okay, this is for free. You do not have to pay anything for it. The next one is Ultimate Revision Booster. This is Prelims 2020 English. You can also enroll it for free. So this one is purely in English and this one is bilingual. So the duration is from 5th to 30th September 2020. You get free live classes Monday to Friday, and also you get sectional quizzes in this Ultimate Revision Booster Prelims batch. Also, you can use our code SIMPLEYT in order to get an extra 10% discount when you subscribe for Unacademy. So this is how it goes. So once you click on this Get Subscription button, this page will appear. So suppose if you are subscribing for 24 months, then you have to pay rupees 64,000. But when you apply our code here, SIMPLEYT, then you get an extra 10% off. Okay, and then you have to only pay rupees 57,600. See here, the code is applied. You can only get this 10% extra off once you apply this code. So if you have any difficulty in applying this code, you can contact us on a number which I'll be providing in subsequent PPTs. So just note down that number. Okay, also there is this T20 daily current affairs test series which is for free. It daily helps at 7:30 p.m. There are like 20 questions for 20 minutes and it's of 40 marks. and a test analysis is given, so you can attempt it daily. It will help you to update your current affairs on a daily basis. So you can attempt it at 7:30 p.m. daily. You can also join any of the Unacademy's channel on YouTube, Unacademy Articulate, Unacademy UPSC Current Affairs, Unacademy Lakshya UPSC CSC, or Unacademy Expedition UPSC CSC. You can also join Unacademy's Telegram group, which is Unacademy Articulate, or you can follow Unacademy on Facebook if you use Facebook. The name of the page is UPSC Preparation by Unacademy. You can also join our Telegram group, which is Simple Concepts UPSC. So you can get the link of the group in description box, or you can just go to the Telegram app and type Simple Concepts UPSC and you will get the group. So the benefit of joining this group is that you get all of these study material and the PPTs that I teach upon, you get in this group. So you don't have to write anything down. You can just listen to whatever I am teaching, and then you can later get these PPTs from this group. Also, you can contact or WhatsApp us on this number 9689638048 if you have any difficulty regarding applying our code, or if you have any confusion regarding which batch to join on Unacademy, or if you want personal guidance from us, then also you can contact us on this number. Like, you can contact us on this number if you have any query regarding UPSC. Okay, so I'm repeating the number 9689638048. You can either call us or WhatsApp us on this number. So now let's get started with the lecture. So first of all, let us look at the introduction. So as you all know, it is a landmark case. What is a landmark case? कि उसमें जो रूलिंग्स दी जाती हैं वो आगे भी बहुत सारे केसेस में यूज़ होती हैं. लाइक इट्स अ लैंडमार्क केस, सो द अदर डिसीजन दैट आर गिवन बाय सुप्रीम कोर्ट और एनी अदर कोर्ट मे रिलाई ऑन द जजमेंट ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर case. So that is why it is known as a landmark case. Also, it is known as a landmark case because it has made huge changes in the structure of our constitution, and it has given the landmark things, okay, that are to be remembered by the future generations. So this particular judgment was delivered by a 13-judge bench of Supreme Court. So generally there are different benches. Okay, there is a 2-judge bench, there is a 5-judge bench, and there is a 7-judge bench. So this was a very big bench. Okay, like 13 judges. So it is like it is a very big deal because generally कोई भी केस जो है वो 5-judge bench से ऊपर नहीं जाता है. 13-judge bench पे जाने का मतलब है कि this was a very important case and a larger bench was constituted just to give the verdict of this case, just to solve this case. So in this case, Keshwanand Bharti was the petitioner and state of Kerala was the respondent. मतलब केशवानंद भारती जो थे उन्होंने ये केस डाला था अगेंस्ट विच स्टेट? इन्होंने डाला था ये केस स्टेट ऑफ केरला के अगेंस्ट. दैट इज वाई केशवानंद भारती इज द पिटिशनर and state of Kerala is the respondent. So petitioner is always जो केस डालता है and respondent हमेशा वो होता है जो उस केस का बेसिकली डिफेंस में होता है या जिसके खिलाफ वो केस डाला गया है या जो उसको रिस्पॉन्ड कर रहा है. So this is the background. Okay, so at that time right to property was a fundamental right. So this you must keep in your mind while reading this case कि उस टाइम पे क्या था, जो हमारा राइट टू प्रॉपर्टी था दैट वाज आवर फंडामेंटल राइट. इट वाज नॉट अ लीगल राइट. इट वाज मेंशन्ड इन आर्टिकल 19 एट दैट टाइम जब ये केस हमारे सामने आया था. सो व्हाट हैपेंड वाज द केरला लैंड रिफॉर्म्स एक्ट 1963 वाज इनैक्टेड टू फुलफिल सोशो इकोनॉमिक ऑब्लिगेशंस ऑफ स्टेट ऑफ केरला. सो उस टाइम केरला गवर्नमेंट ने केरला लैंड रिफॉर्म एक्ट लेके आए थे, ओके, टू फुलफिल सम सोशो इकोनॉमिक ऑब्लिगेशंस लाइक सम DPSPs, ओके, जो स्टेट ऑफ केरला को फॉलो करने थे. अब इस एक्ट के अंडर क्या हुआ? अंडर दिस एक्ट द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट एक्वायर्ड लैंड बिलोंगिंग टू एग्नीर मठ इन द कासरागोड डिस्ट्रिक्ट ऑफ केरला. सो ये एक्ट के तहत बेसिकली ये होता था कि the state government of Kerala was allowed to acquire any land, किसी का भी land acquire कर सकती थी in order to fulfill its socio-economic obligation. For example, सोशो इकोनॉमिक ऑब्लिगेशन, आई गिव यू एन एग्जांपल कि सपोज कोई एक एरिया में हॉस्पिटल नहीं है, ठीक है, लाइक विद इन 10 किलोमीटर्स इन अ विलेज देयर इज नो हॉस्पिटल. ओके, सो व्हाट द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट कैन डू इज कि वो उस 10 किलोमीटर्स में किसी भी एक फार्मर का या किसी का भी एक लैंड एक्वायर कर लेगी जस्ट टू बिल्ड अ हॉस्पिटल, a government hospital, to give facilities to that whole village. Okay, so this is called the socio-economic obligation of state of Kerala. So under this Kerala Land Reform Act, the state of Kerala was free to acquire any land belonging to anyone. So उन्होंने क्या किया, अंडर दिस एक्ट व्हाट केरला गवर्नमेंट डिड वाज कि एडनीर मठ का एक लैंड था, उसको केरला गवर्नमेंट ने एक्वायर कर लिया था. ठीक है, वो एडनीर मठ के जो हेड थे वो थे केशवानंद भारती. So the 29th Constitutional Amendment Act placed Kerala Reforms Act in 9th schedule. उसके बाद क्या हुआ, उसके बाद 29th Constitutional Amendment Act आया. उसमें इस पर्टिकुलर एक्ट को, केरला लैंड रिफॉर्म्स एक्ट को 9th शेड्यूल में डाल दिया गया. अब 9th शेड्यूल में डालने का मतलब क्या होता है कि उसको आप जुडिशियल रिव्यू के लिए प्रेजेंट नहीं कर सकते, या आप उसको इस बेसिस पे वॉइड डिक्लेयर नहीं कर सकते कि ये जो है ये फंडामेंटल राइट्स के साथ इंटरवीन कर रहा है. ठीक है, सो दैट इज व्हाट 9th शेड्यूल इज, कि कोई भी 9th शेड्यूल में जो भी लॉ डाला जाता है उसको आप चैलेंज नहीं कर सकते कोर्ट में, दैट दिस इज अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल. So challenging this land acquisition, a writ petition was filed under Article 25, right to practice and propagate religion, Article 26, right to manage religious affairs, Article 14, right to equality, Article 19(1)(f, freedom to acquire property, and Article 31. So ये जो केरला गवर्नमेंट ने एडनीर मठ का लैंड एक्वायर किया था, इसको चैलेंज किया था केशवानंद भारती में, जिसमें कि उन्होंने बोला कि ये जो लैंड एक्विजिशन है ये किस किस फंडामेंटल राइट को वायलेट कर रहा है. आर्टिकल 25, आर्टिकल 26, आर्टिकल 14, आर्टिकल 19(1) क्लॉज F एंड आर्टिकल 31. सो इसमें और किस किस चीज़ को चैलेंज किया गया था, इसमें चैलेंज किया गया था 24th, 25th एंड 29th अमेंडमेंट एक्ट्स को, कि ये जो तीनों अमेंडमेंट एक्ट्स हैं ये अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल है या ये वॉइड है. ओके, सो दिस वाज challenged by the petitioner in this particular case. So what was the issue arose in this case? So the first issue was whether the parliament has power to amend the fundamental rights. के क्या पार्लियामेंट के पास ये पावर है कि वो फंडामेंटल राइट्स को अमेंड कर सकती है. ओके, एंड द नेक्स्ट थिंग विच वाज एक्चुअली गिवन और द इशू दैट वाज रेज्ड इन दिस केस वाज व्हाट इज द लिमिट ऑफ जुडिशियल रिव्यू. So here is the judgment. So before coming to the judgment, let me tell you what were the basic arguments that were given by petitioner and the respondent. So petitioners जो थे उन्होंने इस केस में ये कहा कि जो हमारा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन है उसमें जो पावर दी गई है पार्लियामेंट को कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को अमेंड करने की, दैट इज़ वेरी लिमिटेड एंड रिस्ट्रिक्टिव. मतलब कुछ ही पार्ट्स ऐसे हैं पूरे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के जो कि पार्लियामेंट अमेंड कर सकता है. हर चीज़ को, या फॉर एग्जांपल फंडामेंटल राइट्स को पार्लियामेंट अमेंड नहीं कर सकता, बिकॉज कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को एग्जिस्टेंस में लाया ही इसलिए गया था कि जो लोग हैं वो अपनी फ्रीडम इंजॉय कर सकें. तो अगर कोई भी पार्लियामेंट या कोई भी लीडर आके उन चीज़ों के ऊपर रिस्ट्रिक्शन लगाता है, राइट्स के ऊपर रिस्ट्रिक्शन लगाता है, सो फिर से वही टायरनी आ जाएगी. ठीक है, कि अगर आपको राइट्स नहीं मिल रहे हैं सो यू विल बी अंडर अगेन द rule of someone else. Okay, so that is what the reason was given by petitioners. Okay, they also pleaded कि उनका जो right to property है उसको save किया जाए, whereas the respondent actually claimed that कि जो भी powers हैं parliament के पास they are not restrictive. Okay, they are actually absolute and unlimited because there is nowhere mentioned कि parliament ये चीज़ नहीं कर सकता. ठीक है, इन नो सेक्शन इट इज मेंशन कि पार्लियामेंट इज नॉट अलाउड टू अमेंड दिस पार्ट ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन और दैट पार्ट ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. सो दैट इज व्हाई द पावर टू अमेंड द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन is limited. Oh, I'm sorry, is unlimited. Okay. So also the state of Kerala said कि अगर पेटिशनर की बात मान ली जाए और ये सोचा जाए कि पार्लियामेंट की रिस्ट्रिक्टिव पावर है कि वो कुछ चीज़ों को अमेंड नहीं कर सकता, तो जो सोशियो इकोनॉमिक ऑब्लिगेशंस हैं स्टेट के या सेंट्रल के, वो पूरे ही नहीं हो पाएंगे. सो दैट इज़ वाई इट इज़ नेसेसरी कि पार्लियामेंट को अनलिमिटेड पावर दी जाए, बिकॉज इट इज़ मेंशन्ड इन अ प्रियम्बल कि टू मीट द सोशियो इकोनॉमिक needs, okay, the parliament can enact laws, certain laws. So that is why to fulfill those obligations that are put upon the state has unlimited power to amend the constitution. So these were the two basic arguments that were given by petitioner and the respondent. Now let's see what actually court determined in this particular case. So Supreme Court by a 7/6 majority held that Parliament in the exercise of constituent power can amend any provision of the Constitution. So Supreme Court ने सबसे पहले ये कहा कि power to amend the Constitution is unlimited. Okay, actually they particularly said that the Parliament can amend any provision of the Constitution. The power to amend the Constitution is located in Article 368. ये भी कहा गया कि Article 368 Parliament को power देता है to amend the Constitution. Neither the Constitution nor an amendment of the Constitution can be or is a law within the meaning of Article 13(2). So if you have read Article 13, you will actually relate to this. If you haven't read about Article 13, you can just go and watch my previous video. So ये भी बोला गया इस केस में कि ना तो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, ठीक है, ना ही कोई भी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट आर्टिकल 13 के अंडर लॉ के मीनिंग के अंडर फॉल करता है. मतलब कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को और अमेंडमेंट ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को लॉ विद इन आर्टिकल 13 नहीं माना जाएगा, ठीक है, बिकॉज कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन इज अ सुप्रीम लॉ. ओके, इट इज नॉट अ ऑर्डिनरी लॉ, इट इज सुप्रीम, ठीक है. कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से सारे लॉ एग्जिस्टेंस में आए हैं. कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन खुद एक लॉ नहीं है या कोई एक एक्ट नहीं है. An amendment of the Constitution is an exercise of the constituent power. The majority view in Golaknath case is with respect wrong. So इस केस से ये भी बोला गया कि जो amendment of the Constitution है, ठीक है, it is a constituent power and it's not a legislative power or a ordinary law making power. It's a constituent power. Okay, so amendment of Constitution is a constituent power which is given in Article 368. और जो पहले एक केस आया था गोलकनाथ केस, उसमें बोला गया था कि पार्लियामेंट कैन नॉट अमेंड फंडामेंटल राइट्स. सो दैट वाज ओवररूल, मतलब उसको बोला गया कि उस केस में गलत डिसीजन दिया गया है. सो द मेजॉरिटी व्यू इन गोलकनाथ केस विद रिस्पेक्ट टू इज रॉन्ग. There are no express limitations to the power of amendment. Okay, so there were no restriction to the power of amendment, no implied and inherent limitations on the power of amendment. So there are no implied and inherent power, neither any direct. Okay, so implied as in कि हम किसी भी लैंग्वेज से ऐसा डिड्यूस नहीं कर पा रहे हैं कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन की कि वो जो है पावर ऑफ अमेंडमेंट को रोक रही है या रिस्ट्रिक्ट कर रही है. The power to amend means the power to add, alter or repeal any provisions of the Constitution. So power to amend का क्या मतलब हुआ? या तो आपके पास ये पावर है कि आप कुछ भी ऐड कर सकते हो, या कोई जो ऑलरेडी चीज़ है उसको ऑल्टर कर सकते हो, या जो है उसको हटा सकते हो यानी रिपील कर सकते हो, any provision of the Constitution. So all these power were given to the Parliament. The court held that 24th Amendment to the Constitution as valid, and on the question to which extent the Constitution can be amended, the court deduced the doctrine of basic structure. So जो Amendment Act को challenge किया गया था, 24th Amendment Act, उसको valid declare किया गया. और on the question, जो ये question arise हुआ था कि किस level तक जो है Parliament basic मतलब changes कर सकता है Constitution में. सो उस रिगार्ड में डॉक्ट्रिन ऑफ बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर का इंट्रोडक्शन दिया गया. It implied that though Parliament has the power to amend any provision of the Constitution, it cannot in any manner interfere with the features of fundamental to the Constitution, without which the Constitution would be spiritless. तो इस केस में ये भी बोला गया कि ऑल्दो पार्लियामेंट के पास अनलिमिटेड पावर है, उसके पास पावर है वो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के किसी भी प्रोविजन को ऑल्टर कर सकते हैं या अमेंड कर सकते हैं, बट वो उस लेवल तक ही उसको ऑल्टर कर सकते हैं कि जो फंडामेंटल नेचर है कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का वो बना रहे, वो चेंज ना हो. मतलब वो ऐसा कोई चेंज नहीं ला सकते कि अगर वो चेंज लेके आए तो जो हमारा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का जो स्पिरिट है वो ही खत्म हो जाए. लाइक द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन शुड नॉट बिकम स्पिरिटलेस. सो द लॉज इंक्लूडेड इन द 9th schedule कैन बी चैलेंज्ड in the court of law on the grounds that they abrogate the basic element of the constitutional structure. So ये भी बोला गया कि जो 9th schedule में, बिकॉज पहले ऐसा होता था कि जिस भी आपने लॉ को 9th schedule में डाल दिया उसको आप कोर्ट में चैलेंज नहीं कर सकते, बट इस केस में ये बोला गया कि 9th schedule में जितने भी लॉज हैं उनको कोर्ट ऑफ लॉ में चैलेंज किया जा सकता है. ऑन व्हाट बेसिस? अगर वो जो पर्टिकुलर लॉ है वो बेसिक एलिमेंट ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को एब्रोगेट कर रहे हैं या वॉयलेट कर रहे हैं, तभी उनको कोर्ट ऑफ लॉ में चैलेंज किया जा सकता है. यू कैन नॉट चैलेंज a basic law which is put in 9th schedule on the basis that it actually intervenes with the fundamental rights. No, you can only challenge the laws within 9th schedule when they abrogate the basic element of constitutional structure. Okay, I hope this is understood. Now the Supreme Court basically didn't define के basic structure doctrine में क्या क्या आता है, but they actually said कि we will decide कि what is the basic structure of a constitution on a case to case basis. कि जैसे जैसे हमारे पास केस आएंगे हम उसके बेसिस पे बताएंगे whether this particular act whether this particular act actually intervenes with the fundamental right, or is this unconstitutional, or is this violating the basic structure of the constitution. So there's a list, okay, there's a full list जिनको बोला गया कि ये जो है ये basic structure के under fall होते हैं. So what are all these things that fall under doctrine of basic structure till now? It is not that कि यही है बस, नहीं, आगे भी फ्यूचर में ऐसा हो सकता है कि कोर्ट ये बोले कि ये चीज़ भी डॉक्ट्रिन ऑफ बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर के अंडर फॉल होती है. जस्ट लेट मी टेल यू कि व्हाट आर ऑल द फीचर्स, द बेसिक फीचर्स ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल द सुप्रीमेसी ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, द सॉवरेनिटी ऑफ इंडिया, रिपब्लिक एंड डेमोक्रेटिक forms of government, the secular character of the constitution. You cannot actually amend the secular character of the constitution, a free and independent judiciary, separation of powers between the legislature, executive, the judiciary. Okay, जो separation of power है तीनों के बीच में, उनको भी आप amend नहीं कर सकते. You cannot give power to just parliament और आप court से power ले लो. No, you cannot do it. Federal character of the constitution is also falls under doctrine of basic structure. The dignity of the individual secured by the various freedoms and basic rights in part 3, and the mandate to build a welfare state contained in part 4, and the unity and integrity of the nation. Okay, so there are almost like 15 to 20 such characters which are described under the doctrine of basic structures, and those have been incorporated in the basic structure in subsequent years. Okay, so year by year जैसे जैसे केस आते गए वैसे वैसे उनको doctrine of basic structure में लिखते चले गए. Also, only the judiciary can decide what is to be considered as the basic feature of the constitution. Okay, so this power is given to only the judiciary. Parliament cannot decide whether this particular thing falls under the basic structure of constitution or not. It is to be decided by only the judiciary, only by Supreme Court. I hope this whole case is understood to you. So if you have any doubt, you can just write it in the comment section, or you can also post it in our Telegram group. I'll try to resolve all of them. So I'll see you all in the next video. Till then, take care and bye bye.